declare this sitting of the National Assembly of the Parliament of Ghana to be duly constituted and in session. Mr. Clerk, please read. Mr. Richard Allen, Regional Representative for Region Number 1, and my call by way of letter upon the representative of the list of a partnership for national unity. For that list of candidates, I have been informed by Mr. Calvin Ben, Chief Elections Officer acting, by way of a letter dated the 9th of April 2013, which was received by me last evening, that the name of Ms. Benita Lolita Williams was extracted from the list, and that Ms. Williams was, on the 9th of April 2013, declared by Mr. Calvin Ben in his capacity as Chief Elections Officer, has been duly elected as a member of this National Assembly. Before Ms. Williams can take part in the proceedings of the Assembly, she will have to make and subscribe to an oath before this Assembly, as required by Article 167 of our Constitution. As Ms. Williams is present, she can now make and subscribe to that oath, which will be administered to her by the clerk. Ms. Isaac, Mr. Clerk.
I, Renita Williams, do solemnly declare that I bear true faith and allegiance to the people of Ghana, that I am a member of the National Assembly, without fear or favor, affection or ill will, and that in the execution of function of the office, I will honor the Constitution of the Cooperative Republic of Ghana, made and subscribed by me before the National Assembly, the 10th day of April 2013.
Honourable members, I would like to take the opportunity to be the first to congratulate her. I met with her earlier and remarked that she was young, of course, attractive member of Region 1. Yes?
Remember what happened to Obama?
I remember, but yes, I recall what happened. But just to welcome the new member,
Right.
and I believe that Region 1 is well represented in Ms. Williams, and also wish you well, Ms. Williams. You have come to the 10th Parliament at a very interesting, poignant moment, and I dare say that the people of Region 1 and your party expect. On behalf of the Parliament Office, we welcome you and look forward to getting to know you and to being able to serve you as a duly elected member of the House. I will also invite the Leader of the Opposition, if or any member of the APNU designated by him if he so wishes, to move as well. Congratulatory message to the member. Bearing in mind the Obama experience, as you congratulated and welcomed and greeted the Attorney General of North
National Unity. I'd like to thank Benita into this August conclave of parliamentarians in the National Assembly. It's a heavy burden, and although the circumstances of our entry were extraordinary, were unusual, we have confident that because of her commitment and her service, she will be able to discharge her duties at this time. Ms. Williams comes from the Baringo-Wairie region, a region which has been plagued with several problems, as you know. 3 persons have died, several hundred have been made ill because of a health crisis in that area. It's a large region, a region that is bigger than Trinidad and Tobago, and I do not envy her at this stage of her life, having to represent the constituents from that area. It's an area which is fraught with trafficking in persons, but it's an area of great potential, an area of gold mining, agriculture, and of course the resumption of manganese mining. It is also an area, Mr. Speaker, as you know, which has produced several parliamentarians, as you know, have already come from Moruca, which is the single largest community of our indigenous people. I think that oh, will you shut up? No, as I was saying, at least 2 honorable members of this house, I think 3 honorable members of this house also trace their origin to Moruca, the community from which Stephen Campbell came, I believe. And certainly, as you said, we expect that Ms. Williams will learn quickly, but she has much to do, and we're very happy to have her on board. Welcome to the meeting.
I see Mr. Ramazan on his feet.
Sir, I also want to take the opportunity to welcome what transpired with Mr. Richard Allen in the context of very difficult circumstances we are all in at this present moment. And wish her well in this Parliament, indicating to her that it is going to be extremely stressful, and in the context of the circumstances too, she'll have quite a lot of being have to indulge in, and hopefully that she'll have immediately certain documents of the Parliament that will ensure that she get acquainted with the workings and the operations of this Parliament. Her region is very important also, and as a parliamentary representative, just like Richard Allen did, at least communicate back with those communities for purposes of ensuring that we do have the representation that those people in that region will need. Mr. Speaker, it is important that youthful parliamentarians, especially from indigenous regions, understand the indigenous exercises, the culture of the people in the area, and that which they will bring here to this Parliament. No, you don't want me to introduce a new parliamentarian? I am very much in association with the leader of the opposition on the swearing-in of this. Are you not going to welcome the guard? The member of the honorable member of Parliament? You know,
I'm trying not to respond to gestures and any comments coming from?
I also, yes,
From other members?
I want to, Mr. Speaker, it is important that we learn to appreciate that we ought to give an introduction to new members of this Parliament, and also we want a quick recovery of Richard Allen, who I understand is still in the hospital, and for that reason, our replacement is all more important because of the fact that we had that very unfortunate development here. Mr. Speaker,
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, on behalf of the people who testified, to extend a warm welcome to Ms. Williams, extending best wishes to Mr. Allen for a speedy recovery. Ms. Williams, you joined the Parliament at an intriguing time at our budget debate when we come from 7 consecutive years of growth and development, and your Region 2, Region 1 has been leading the way in the development in Molucca, Warramuri. We now have minibuses and vehicles that we didn't have before. I welcome you to take part in this continuing growth and development of our country.
Honourable Member Dr. Norton.
Mr. Speaker, things quite a lot. One might remember Stephen Gamble on the 10th of September being the first Amerindian during that time to enter the National Legislature. Mr. Speaker, after then, lots have changed with respect to Amerindians being here as members of the National Assembly. While I do appreciate the fact that persons have mentioned this right here even today, I, being an Amerindian 100%, would love also to express this appreciation. On behalf of the other Amerindians in this August House, particularly the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and I say this, from Molucca, what we must remember is that so far all 3 ministers of Ministry of Amerindian Affairs are from Molucca. And I would also, I am happy that Ms. Williams is also from that area. I am indeed happy, and I'm looking forward for the function of Ms. Williams in this August House, like that of Ms. Hastings, and like that also of Ms. Marcelo and Ms. Garrido, and the Honorable Mr. Hero Sidney Aliko. Mr. Speaker, thank you.
Oh, the Honourable Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Mr. Speaker, colleagues, I would just like to
Congratulations.
congratulate Williams for joining the ranks of MPs coming from that area. Stephen Campbell, his great-granddaughter, Pauline Sukai, Eugene Stowe, Eula James, Marco D'Souza, Vibert D'Souza. We've certainly had really a lot of MPs coming from Moruca. I would also like to welcome her, given that it's another woman in this National Assembly. That is very significant. I wouldn't go into the percentage of my Amerindianness, but I conform with the Amerindian Act. Congratulations and welcome, Ms. Rennie.
Ms. Williams, I can assure you that your entrance into the House today and the greetings you received are unprecedented. When I entered the House many years ago, I took the oath was escorted to my seat and business continued. You consider yourself to be very special and important, and recognize that we see your coming today as something that is monumental. Hence, the many speeches of welcome that you received from both sides of the House. I know you are apprehensive and that your life has been upended in a matter of hours, because I know that you have been doing something on one day and by the next you are doing another. I did explain to you the ritual of having to host the entire assembly at a date and time that you are in a position to do so, and you will indicate to the clerk. But that aside, I don't know whether you were in a position this afternoon or feel up to it to just saying a few words in response to all the well wishes. If not, we understand on another occasion. That is fine. But you do seem somewhat overwhelmed, but welcome. And as I said, your presence here this afternoon by the very response that you received should tell you something. Honourable members, I thank you all for your kind words of support and encouragement and welcome to the honourable member, and we will be hearing from her, I am sure, in a not too distant future, as we even consider the estimates for region number 1. Thank you very much. Mr. Clark,
announcements by the Speaker.
Honourable members, by way of announcement, just of course, which you've just done to congratulate the new member, but I wish to change gears and go into summer mode and to just give details for members who I know are very interested. The final rites and cremation for the late former Minister of Agriculture and Parliamentary Affairs, Panadribu Daman Prasad, will take place tomorrow, Thursday, April 11th, beginning at 9 a.m. as the funeral procession will start at the Dharmic Sanskrit Kendra Mandir, Prashad Nagar, at 9, passing thereafter the Sri Krishna Mandir in Kamarville. Then it goes to the Dharmic Ramakrishna Mandir in Barshid Kitty, then to Freedom House for a brief tribute at 9:30 a.m. Then the procession, the cortege, I believe, will then continue to the Guyana International Conference Center, Liliendal, where the official ceremony and viewing of the body will take place at 10 hours, and I take it that the actual ceremony will commence sometime thereafter.
Strike this morning as of 8 a.m. because of payments dealing with the gratuity. Mr. Speaker, this matter was raised in this Honorable House last Friday. In fact, I spoke to the Honorable Minister, who indicated to me that the matter reached this stage, and the nurses were promised their monies between Monday and yesterday. And to the moment as we speak, they would not have received their gratuity. The nurses are asking that the conditions that they are paid gratuity needs to be revised, since gratuity is in lieu of pension. Speaker, I got a phone call indicating that the monies will be paid by 4 p.m. this afternoon. However, the nurses are still concerned, and so they wanted this matter resolved, and payments of gratuity, that is, the payments, the manner in which payments of gratuity are made, to be dealt with once and for
resolutions relating to the business or sittings of the National Assembly and moved by Minister. Introduction of bills, public business, government's business.
Our members, we are, if I may say so, in sort of a relaxed mode today. And I was going to allow the Honourable Minister of Health, if he so desired, even though there is no debate on this subject, but if you wish to clarify or make any statement, it's even a relaxed mode and the fact that we...
Mr. Speaker, first of all, let me join in welcoming the member. A reminder too that large region has recently the new hospital. Very good job, and we are at the same time in this budget looking at the Kaituma Hospital. So things are happening in Region 1 in terms of health. And as I was posted recently in a public forum, we have teams headed by such good persons as Jeffrey and so on going to Mavaruma. So things are happening in health, if I could, and we share that with them. Now, Mr. Speaker, this matter that is just allowed as something of great public interest is a simple administrative matter. And the gratuity which should be paid this month, the nurses do know, and many of them understand that because of that administrative glitch, it will be paid shortly. The member who raised it, and I use, while it's not on my feet, a certain word to describe our activities, which is a bit unparliamentary, and I will not repeat it. This is just to gain some attention this season time, as we would say. This is a time I'm withdrawing that. I'm saying at these moments surrounding the budget, when there are political, capital needed to be gained. This is a simple administrative matter that could be handled, that is being handled. Most of the nurses are being on the side of the administration understanding this. It is a gratuity that needed to be paid in 1 month, and they were advised that it will be paid. It's in the process of being done. The permanent secretary is doing a very good job to get that done.
Okay, Mr. Soon, allow the Minister
As
to
the
respond.
Speaker, as Mr. Soon pointed out, they were promised a certain time. I do not know exactly which hour they were promised, but the Ministry of Health is regretful of this, and they have been told. And this could be done as a simple administrative matter between employer and employee, and it does not deserve the attention of something of national significance. Although we do empathize with the nurses, they need their monies, and I spoke to Mr. Soon saying yes, it's an administrative glitch, it will be treated as such, and steps will be taken to see that those who might be at fault are reprimanded and that it is not repeated. It's a very simple matter. I want to thank the nurses in Linden for being very, very understanding with that.
Thank you very much, Minister. Excellent. Thank you. And I think of great comfort and assurance to the nurses. And I urge members to try to speak and have dialogue with each other. I know it works. And I believe one member during the debate did refer to the fact that we need to avoid, in fact, using the public time to deal with matters that could be dealt with privately, if so. So I urge that we dialogue privately between the sides to resolve that. Mr. Clark, I'm sorry for the interruption, but please proceed. Honourable members, we are at that stage of government business. Last evening, this morning, we adjourned the House to 2 p.m. today after we were able to have a motion before the House coming from the Business Subcommittee of the Committee of Supply. The standing order 74.4 says that if the motion is negatived as it was last evening, not carried, it shall stand committed or recommitted to the Business Subcommittee. The subcommittee met at 1:30 this afternoon. The parties discussed the causes and effects and even consequences of last evening's outcome. And as chairman, I indicated that I would recommit that report to the House, or to the Assembly rather, the Committee of Supply, when we reconvene. So at this point in time, I would ask that we resolve ourselves into Committee of Supply. Thank you, honourable members. We are now constituted as a Committee of Supply. As indicated last evening, the standing orders never contemplated a situation where the Minister in charge of Finance would not and did not agree with the majority view of the Business Subcommittee of the Committee of Supply. And I believe that for me to ask and call on the Minister to move a motion that he does agree would be a manifest absurdity and would not something that I would encourage just for the sake of causing him to do so. In that sense, I propose, as I did last night to do again, that the report as circulated last night stands now before the House, as well as running alongside it the minority report, which is a second schedule prepared by the government. I will propose the adoption of the report with the schedule prepared by the opposition parties, the APNU and the Alliance for Change, respectively, in the first instance, and depending on the outcome of that, I will put the second. So, honourable members, I propose that the report dated April 9, 2013, with the schedule attached, reflecting the views and opinions of the APNU and the AFC members in the House, be adopted. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. No. Oh, I was just about to say that I seem the illustrious to have had it. Division is called, please.
Ms. Marshall.
Clerk has advised that the division having been called and the vote taken, 33 members voted in favor of the adoption of the report and the resolution therein with the attached schedule. 31 members voted against it. The motion is therefore carried. Honourable members, I did indicate as well that I will put the minority report, the government's report, schedule to the House for its adoption, notwithstanding the recent vote. So I now propose to the House the adoption of the government's report and schedule, that is as laid out in the schedule circulated yesterday, 9th April 2013. Those in favor of that report as put forward by the Minister responsible for Finance, please say aye. Aye. Those against say no. No. Division is sought,
Mr. T. Williams.
that the division having been sought and the motion put and the vote taken, the 33 members voted against the motion, 31 members voted for the motion is therefore not carried. We will now reconvene in the Assembly. Is there any other business that anyone wishes to raise about the Committee of Supply? If not, we reconvene.
Monday the 15th, 2 o'clock. Then we will proceed with the
Consideration. Very well, thank you, honourable members. I am grateful for your patience and your presence this afternoon and your assistance in getting us through what appeared just hours ago to be an impossible pass. Thank you very much. The House is adjourned until Monday 15th.